Today we're going over how much it costs to take my BMW M2 from this to this. Starting off with the purchase price. I bought my M2 with 20,961 kilometers from BMW Grand River, as you can see right over here. It was beautiful, fully optioned with an M Performance exhaust, which sounds amazing, and it even had 2 brand new tires put on it right before I bought it for $60,263. Fast forward a couple hours, and not only did my tires go from 9mm down to 7, but somehow I picked up a nail on my first day owning the car. The tire cost me $532, but we're not gonna add that to the list because if we did, this would become a $1 million build. Anyway, within a couple weeks, I started modifying my M2, planning to do only a few things as I didn't want to get carried away. Didn't work out too well. So I started off small with this red button because I loved how it looked on the M2 competition, so I picked one up for $40 from I&D Distribution, along with these mirror caps from Auto Technica at $340. These installs were my first ever time working on a car, and honestly, they were so much fun that it's kind of hard to describe. Which is why my I don't want to get carried away only lasted a few weeks. Soon after, I got the M Performance interior kit, which includes this carbon trim right over here, this Alcantara carbon right over here, and this parking brake along with its boot for $790. And then after seeing how much better the interior looked with all this carbon and Alcantara, I also bought this radio cover for $240, along with these carbon door cups for $266, both from Bimmer Masterpieces. And of course, since I had all this carbon everywhere else, I thought why not put carbon on the button cover, which I got from Fascherschmidt for $242. Which brings me on to the next mod. Since the paint on my M2 was near perfect, Daryl kept suggesting that I get it PPF'd, which at the time I didn't think was really that necessary. But eventually I said I'd give it a shot, so I went over to my local wrap shop, Pure Auto, and got some quotes. And after finding out that PPF would be really expensive, I thought why not just do a vinyl wrap in my favorite color. So I wrapped the M2 in 3M's Deep Gloss Blue Metallic, which is the closest possible color I could find to BMW San Marino Blue, and overall the wrap cost me $3,729. Of course though, with the badges, the grills, and the spoiler all being taken off to do the wrap, I thought it would be a great time to add some more carbon, and so I did. I got this Auto Technica spoiler for $449, these carbon grills from I&D at $544, these BMW M side markers, which are very tiny pieces of carbon, but since they're made by BMW, they cost a whole lot at $534. And these black badges from I&D, which were $160. I know you can get these on Amazon for about 20 bucks, but me 2 years ago didn't know that, and I thought with it being a BMW, all the parts are gonna be really expensive, and I never really second guessed it. With the new wrap looking so good, I thought why not do tints as well? So I got these done for about $400 if I remember correctly, and the stickers were about $20. Anyway, after doing all these cosmetic mods, I started wanting to make my car faster, but there was a huge problem. I still had a warranty and I didn't exactly want to avoid it. So I went over to Bud's BMW to get a Dinan Stage 1 tune installed, because the cool thing about Dinan is that while it's aftermarket, it doesn't void your warranty, but of course it comes with a premium, and a really big one at that, which is why I paid $24.40 for my Dinan Stage 1 tune. Looking back at it, I realize how insanely overpriced that is, but at the time I never really realized it. Would I do it again? No. But the thing is, the Dinan Stage 1 tune was actually so close to perfect, if not perfect. If you can justify spending double what you'd spend on any other tune and you want to keep your warranty, I completely 110% recommend it. Soon after the tune, I picked up an InGen intake for $412, and honestly, it's one of my favorite performance mods ever. It added a completely new sound to the car that brings the experience of driving it from here all the way up to here. And then I bought what turned out to be the most difficult install we've ever done, which is the CSF intercooler for $634, along with this VRSF charge pipe, which took us 3 days or 20 total hours to install. Day 1, we didn't have the car up high enough. Day 2, we should have taken the bumper off. And day 3, we were putting everything back together after finally doing it right. Overall, the feeling of accomplishment that we got after completing it was amazing, and we all learned so much about the M2 that if I had a chance to go back in time and do it all over, I'd do it the exact same way. Anyway, after that, I thought, you know what? it's time for a bit more carbon. So I got this front lip from RW Carbon for $950, paid $520 for these shift paddles from Auto Technic, along with these front bumper fangs for $320, this Auto Technic carbon fiber rear diffuser for $876, and these rear bumper accents for $381 from AA Concepts Co. Anyway, the last two mods that I did in the first year of ownership were these M Performance carbon door sills, which cost $374, and these sequential turn signals, I forgot how much, give me a second, it's for $122. After those, the car was put away for the winter, but that didn't stop me from buying more car parts. Even before I was really into cars, I always loved the look of big brakes, and while I didn't exactly want to pay $18,424 for carbon ceramics, I did end up paying $6,705 for these awesome looking big red brakes, which aren't carbon ceramics but almost look identical, which I installed along with Goodrich stainless steel brake lines for $224. To this day, these brakes are my most expensive install and one of my favorites, if not my favorite installs ever. Then right after that, I went and bought the M Performance Shift Light steering wheel for $2,386, and I absolutely love it. It feels amazing, and the shift lights are so cool, especially for night drives. The cool thing is I actually installed the brakes and the wheel just a couple weeks before starting this YouTube channel, with my first ever video being on this VRSF catless downpipe, which I got for $435 along with $44 of additional parts. Then only a couple of hours after installing the catless downpipe, I decided to try out stage 2, so I got that from boot mode for $810. About a month later, I installed these BMW M door lights, which I got from Bud's BMW for $171, followed by these RKP carbon fiber side skirts, which were actually a gift from my mom and Daryl for my birthday, which was amazing, so thank you so much to both of them. And if I would have bought these myself, they would have cost $1,461. These wheels were also a gift, and they were given to me in a really cool way. So what happened is that I took my M2 in for my millionth set of tires at Extreme Tire Garage, and when it came out, my new Pilot Super Sports were actually wrapped around these wheels, which again was a really cool way of giving these. So another huge thank you to Daryl. And if I would have bought these for myself, they would have cost $7,085, which is insanely expensive. So once again, thank you very much for these, Daryl. Talking about gifts, here's a little bonus. Since Daryl's helped me so much with this YouTube channel by recording almost every single video, and also because we have to get his car looking amazing, here's a breakdown of everything that I've gotten for him. These BMW M valve cap covers for $30. These blacked out badges from I&D for $164. I guess I didn't really learn my lesson the first time. And these beautiful EVENTURI carbon fiber intakes for $2,739, which were actually a Christmas gift. Followed by their carbon fiber charge pipes with color matching from I&D for $1,496. These M Performance side markers with color matching from I&D for $569. Auto Technic's carbon fiber grille surrounds, which cost $542. I didn't get Daryl this Dinan exhaust, but it cost him about $3,600, and it sounds amazing. Anyway, back to them too. Just a couple weeks after putting the wheels on, I ordered this carbon fiber GTS hood from RW Carbon. And the thing about this hood is that I actually wanted to get this hood for a really long time, but I was worried about the fitment, and it turned out once I got it that the fitment is pretty much near perfect. The only problems are that there's a little bit of a gap here and here, but you don't really notice it, and overall, the fitment's really good. On top of that, with my new hood being so light, I needed to get new struts with less resistance because the old ones wouldn't let me close the hood. So I picked these up for $330, and they're actually the same struts used on the M4 GTS. After that, I did the unbelievable. I actually stopped buying mods, but only because my M2 was done and every other mod that I wanted to do was extremely expensive, so I thought I'd hold off for a while. During that winter though, I did end up installing this interior lighting, as it was something that I wanted to do on my car ever since I bought the M2. It took us a couple days, but it turned out to be one of the most fun and coolest installs that Daryl and I have ever done together, with him doing all of the wiring, including wiring these transformers together, and me doing all the actual install itself. One thing that was really cool is that as we did the install, we had to take a lot of the interior panels off, and we saw a whole bunch of cool parts of the car that you never normally see, and the end result was amazing. I mean, this looks awesome, especially for night drives, and I bought all the wiring and electronics off Amazon for $266. And then only recently, I installed these GTS taillights, which cost $688, along with this high pressure fuel pump, which I bought in preparation for when I get a big turbo once I reach 5,000 subscribers. And by the way, these 10mm burger tuning spacers, along with these Otis extended wheel locks, cost me $272 and $164, along with this front mount plate holder, which cost me $68 from Bimmerworld, which, by the way, huge shout out to Bimmerworld, as they give you a little packet of gummy bears with every order. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, here's 4 more you'll enjoy just as much.